Good morning. I am Henry Shaw, and I was born in 1965, Rochester, New York, but I moved here to Seattle in 1991 from Charleston, South Carolina. I've been teaching here at Meadowdale High School since 1994, and I've been teaching for 17 years in total. I've been riding to school for about 10 years now, but I've been riding only year-round, only since the last 6 or 7 years. Certainly the winter is the hardest part to ride. It takes me about 55 minutes to get to school. There are some challenges riding to school year-round. Obviously the weather is the primary one. I've got gear for the rain, I've got gear for the cold weather, but when it drops below freezing, if there's any ice on the roads, I ride very skinny tires because they're faster, and they'll just go right out from under me under any kind of ice. The other challenge beyond the weather is my own body. Sometimes I'll become fatigued. For the last few years I've been riding 4 days a week, and as I'm getting older I'm now starting to pare that back to 3 days a week because towards the end of the week I just don't have energy in the classroom. I never get bored taking the same route, and I do take the same route almost every morning. It's a route that I've picked because it's safe and because it's the most speedy way to get here. And a lot of it puts me on an interurban trail that runs parallel to Highway 99, which I love. I love keeping my distance from the cars. I did take one bad, horrible spill quite a few years ago. I was turning into the QFC parking lot, and it was dark. I could not see the ramp, the driveway, and rather than turning into the driveway, I turned right into the curb. My bike right out from under me. When my head and my body hit the ground, my head bounced like a basketball, and I laid on the ground for easily 10 minutes wondering, why in the world am I doing this? I have a car at the house, it's cold out here, it's dark, and that was the most catastrophic accident. One of the tricky parts about that most folks struggle with commuting on the bike is how do you change, how do you shower, and the logistics of all that. What I do is all of my stuff except for my clothes, I have my wife carry for me in the car. My lunch, any kind of homework, books, what have you. And I love riding my bike to school. I ride my bike to school because it's healthy. I ride my bike to school because it's the right thing to do for the environment. And I think everyone rides commutes for those type of reasons. But I have an added benefit. And the reason I commute to school, those reasons included, is because my agenda, even more than teaching history and the love of history, is to suggest to Meadowdale students that there are alternative ways of living. There's a cajillion different ways to get to work, there's a cajillion different ways of living, and I think commuting on the bike really provides a great quality of life for me, but I'm trying to also set an example for kids that maybe, someday, it's something for them to consider as well. So the big things on safety, obviously, is the route that I choose, but lights. I have 2 taillights. If one gets dim, I've got the second one. I use some of the best taillights out there. I've got a good headlight. When I first started commuting, I had a $20 headlight. I'm now riding with a $350 headlight that can light a football stadium. And that's because safety, safety, safety. One of the reasons that I commute to school on the bike is I want to build strength and fitness for the race season, mountain biking, in the spring and summer. And it's impossible to get enough training miles on the mountain bike to be strong and competitive. It's just too hard to always get out there into the mountains and this and that. It's just more practical to put on those training miles on the road bike. So I want to be fairly competitive on a mountain bike. Mountain biking is the coolest. The type of mountain biking I do is cross-country riding. The 2 main types, and there are a couple of others, of mountain biking are cross-country riding and downhill riding. Cross-country riding is riding where you're moving up and down the hills. The bikes tend to be a little bit more lightweight, and it's kind of an all-terrain type riding. Traditionally, I'll do anywhere between 3 and 6 races per year, and all of the races are held here in Washington State. Many of them here in Western Washington. Any successes that I've had in the mountain biking, it's a fairly competitive sport. I'm not particularly good I'm not particularly fast, but I have enjoyed a couple of victories. One, I got a first place finish on Whidbey Island a couple of years ago, and I got a first place finish a few years ago down in the Black Diamond area, which is south of Seattle. But mostly, if I continue to race sport class, I'm going to finish in the top 25%. When I race expert class, I finish in the bottom 25%. There is a mountain bike league being formed here in Washington State. There are a number of schools, including Ballard High School, Meadowdale High School, hopefully, who are looking to start a Washington State mountain bike league. Been one in California for 10 years, there's one in Colorado, and this is going to be the inaugural year for Washington State high school mountain biking. It's very, very exciting. It's all good as long as you're on the bike.